Such a shame, isn't it? A beautiful piece turned to shit. Like, literally turned to shit. You know, they talk about people turning in their graves. Well, Herve Roy, the composer of this piece, he must be doing fucking barrel rolls inside of his coffin. When you hear the words, 2 girls, 1 cup, what do you think of? Do you think of 2010, 2012, perhaps late elementary school, early middle school? Where the days were longer and the bedtimes earlier, where you go to school and get picked on by your classmates, and go to class and get picked on by your teachers, and go back home and get picked on by your parents? Or was that just me? Today I want to discuss the history and the background of the video, but first, I feel like we should reignite our demons and have a cute little Vietnam flashback moment together. Obviously you're not going to see it, but I will. We're going to have a little time travel moment back to the PTSD-filled days of 2012. You know what though? I've grown up since the last time I saw this video, okay? I'm more mature, I'm mentally stronger, I've seen more shit, perhaps not literally, but figuratively. And I'm more mature, I can't think of anything that they could possibly show me on my computer screen that would make me even want to think about barfing or gagging or vomiting. I'm just over that by now. So, let's search it up. Let's... Wow. I'm embarrassed. 3 seconds in, they already got me. Well, at least I know it's not going to get any worse than that. Alright, so here we are. We're on this website. It's called BitChute. More like shit shoot, am I right? Kill me. Alright, here we go. No turning back now. See you on the other side. Ah, yes, the classic music. The classical music. Alright. Nothing out of the ordinary. Just normal lesbian porn. Pretty good angle right there to get both the bottom of the cup and, or rather the top of the cup and her bottom, or gaped anus hole. I believe they're naked now. It would have been it would have been better plot development if it showed them getting naked, rather than just, you know, having them become immediately naked and then immediately having the shit in their mouths and whatnot. Passionate kissing. Very good. They seem very into it. Good. I think the camera's a little tilted here, but it's a really nice angle. You know, it shows both their full bodies. It shows the full extent of their vomit. Obviously, the lighting could probably be better, but you know, in terms of the cinematography, pretty altogether, I would have to go a good solid 8.5 out of 10. You know, if I'm to understand correctly, it was the director's first ever film, so I'm inclined to give him a little bit of slack here. You know, there are a few things that just weren't completely up to par in terms of the porn videos I normally watch, like, you know, the cinematography, the lighting, the shots, the angles, whatnot. But then again, you have to keep in mind that these sorts of videos, they're kind of like a one-take thing, you know? Like, you can't ask her to shit in that quantity again, right? There's no stunt shit, there's no fake poo, there's only one pile of shit for the actresses to use, and once they've used that up, it's gone. You can't shoot anymore. You gotta use the clips that you have and piece them together and try to make a coherent video. So all in all, I'll give it a pretty good, you know, not a 10 out of 10, obviously, but for a first shot, not too bad. Oh, sorry, did you want me to have some kind of disgusted reaction? Was I disgusted? Yes. Or my senses so deadened by now that I can't even muster myself to convey any sort of outward disgusted reaction? Also yes. Besides, let's just say I've seen worse. Now, where are they now? First of all, we gotta start off with the fact god, Wikipedia. Video was filmed in Brazil, which makes a lot of sense now that I'm thinking of it, and apparently there were 60 minutes and 30 seconds of video time that we actually did not see. So, if anyone can get a hold of that, just let me know and I'll try and do a live stream reacting to the whole thing. I mean, my goodness, 62 minutes of this exact same stuff, or some stuff pretty similar to it, I would assume. Like, did she have to, like, binge eat or something like that to get all those bodily excrements? And then, most interestingly of all to me, on cinematography, we got Roger Wu, a guy who I immediately want to know more about. I mean, my guy, how did you end up in Brazil? How did you end up filming this stuff? What happened to the doctorate degree? What happened to UCLA? Where did that go? A good video I recommend is the 2 Girls 1 Cup Mystery by SAX. And in that video he references this article here by Waterford Whispers News, which, I mean, if you'll read it, it's pretty clearly satirical. Apparently the blonde girl in the video, whose name is Carla but spelled Carla, is apparently an ice cream shop vendor, which sounds just a little bit too coincidental to be believable. And there's a couple other unbelievable parts of this article too. Like, for example, her talking about anus waste in front of paying customers. The production cast taking her to get Chinese food before the shoot instead of Chipotle. And then also this tidbit at the end about Carla's co-star Latifah dying from dysentery about 3 days after filming. Now, that part just doesn't make sense to me, because as far as I recall, Latifah wasn't even the one getting vomited into her mouth. She was the one vomiting into Carla's mouth. So you're telling me that she succumbed a mere 72 hours later just from swallowing a little bit of shit? I'm not buying it. On Quora, with a question asked, did the women from the 2 Girls 1 Cup video ever get sick? We got a damn conspiracy theorist over here, Kamlesh Lokeshwaran, accusing the supposed feces of being perhaps a mixture of food substances such as chocolate, coffee cream, or peanut butter. One theory states that the woman cleaned her bowels before introducing the substance. Her rectum then instantly rejected it, creating the appearance of defecation. Bro, this dude's talking like it's a fucking college thesis. And in conclusion, this is why I think the women in the 2 Girls 1 Cup video never actually ate shit. But her rectum then instantly rejected. Are you saying that she shoved the food substance up her own asshole, then immediately moved her hands back to make it seem as if her hands were naturally not there to start with? Or are you saying that some guy, maybe one of the production crew, helped her shove the food substance in there and then immediately got back behind the camera so that it could be rejected from her asshole? Like, I just feel like the logic doesn't quite make sense there. Like, if you're not gonna think of the intricacies behind this sort of stuff, don't come at me with this bullshit conspiracy theory stuff. Don't disrespect Carla and Latifah like that ever again. He also tries to say some of the scenes might have been created with advanced computer graphics. Like, come on, dude, you think they would have used advanced computer graphics on a video that was filmed by an Irish potato with at most 30 pixels per frame? It's a reach, bro, it's a reach. On the main page, we have Where Are They Now Reddit post, and we also have this article from the news.avclub.com and metro.co.uk, and they both reference this article right here, which is actually very good, quite in-depth, by mailmagazine.com, 2 Girls 1 Cup, an investigation into the web's shittiest mystery. It's incredibly in-depth, it's great writing. So the article does talk more about like the cultural impact of the video as opposed to the history or the where are they now of what happened to the people behind it. We do have this little part right here about the visionary behind this masterpiece, aka the director, Marco Fiorito. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like he's done any interviews about the whole thing, but he still films. He's still in the game and directing videos for quite niche fetishes such as piss, vomit, spit, farts, and stuff like trample and belly punching, which I would assume is the sort of stuff where maybe a woman's like stepping on top of a guy, maybe in high heels, maybe on his balls, stuff like that. Not like I know what any of that is, but just a guess. Man, I hope he accepts commissions. I've got a few really good cat girl ideas that he could probably make a killing off of. And, in even better news, Carla and Latifah apparently still are doing their thing. Apparently there's even recent videos of them doing more fetish stuff. Ignore that bottom picture. I haven't found any of it yet, but it says it exists in a random internet article, so it must be right? Happy treasure hunting, seekers. And we have another good article from Vice News, believe it or not. Why would you make that your first picture? Why? Provides more insight into Fiorito and his time through the industry, with slightly worse news, I would say. It talks about him meeting a guy named Danilo Croce, Croce, something like that, financial advisor for him, who ended up getting arrested on obscenity charges. Apparently this Croce guy wasn't even arrested for 2 Girls 1 Cup, but a movie called Toilet Man 6, which features several women making use of a male actor. I think you can fill in the rest. My main question in that regard is, why was Toilet Man 6 so much worse than Toilet Man's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5? So Fiorito got involved in this case. Apparently he had to backtrack on a lot of his fetish work. He had to claim he had absolutely nothing to do with the commercialization of Dragon Films, which distributed 2 Girls 1 Cup in the US. I recall at one point he even had to say like the poop and vomit in the video was not real, which don't take that as anything. He just had to say it to protect himself. We're not taking that as canon, alright? Shut up, Kamlesh. Right here, Fiorito had already admitted that he would often use chocolate to simulate actual excrement when filming. Fortunately, Julie DeLarge, our hero of the story, was here to say, I've never heard of scat scenes made with chocolate. She also said Fiorito usually preferred for his scenes to be real, so Fiorito, can't trick us. We know Carla and Latifah are keeping it real. So in the end, he didn't get arrested, he got to keep making his videos, blah blah blah, happy ending for him. For us, did we get a happy ending? I don't know, it's tough to say. We had to endure more of his productions because of that. Is that a win? I don't know. And honestly, that's about all there is. From all my digging and all my researching, I still pretty much know next to nothing real about Carla and Latifah. So I thought, you know what? If I can't unearth a good story about them, why not come up with one for them myself? Use a little creative liberty to make their lives seem more interesting than it actually was. As if their lives needed to be any more interesting. Alright. Y'all know how it is. Times New Roman, 12-point font, double space. First of all, I think we should give Latifah a little bit of a happier ending than dying of dysentery 3 days after filming. Latifah. It's been 5 years to the day, and for the first time since that fateful day, I was able to look my mother in the eye. I was desperate. My father, out of the picture. My mother, disabled. Our family, living paycheck to paycheck, with no one but me to put food, actual food, trust me, in the mouths of my 4 hungry sisters. I knew acting in Brazil was a tough business to get into, and pornography just as difficult, if not more so. I knew I had to take drastic measures. I put my name out there on fetish boards, and for the first time in over 2 months, I got a response. A very nice man by the name of Fiorito took me in and asked me questions like, "So, how is your stomach?" "Strong, very strong," I replied. "Next to nothing will make me puke." "Well, hopefully that's not completely true," he replied. I expected, nay, I even welcomed piss. But I was not prepared for the extent Carla, now a dear confidant of mine, and I would go to that day. The payday was nice, and I was able to keep my family afloat. I did not think of it again, an act which was completely intentional on my part. But the virality of YouTube can be a blessing for some, and a curse for others, and for me, it was a curse. It started with an old high school friend of mine. "Hey, Latifah, I just watched this completely disgusting video. Was that you?" "Good to talk to you again, Megan. I see you've gained weight." I mean, what was I supposed to respond to that with? I haven't talked to this girl in 7 years. Who just messages you out of the blue with that? But soon the messages started pouring in. The video I'd starred in, much like my life up to that point, had become a challenge. This video I had hoped no human in the world would ever set their eyes upon had become the universe's most popular and most hated video. Fortunately, my name is actually Latifah, not Latifah, so attempts to track me were in vain. But every night, I hoped that my mothers or sisters would not somehow stumble innocently upon the video. Then, from that day on, look at me not as the big sister or eldest daughter that helped provide for them in a time of need, but a monster, one who crossed the line of acceptable human behavior to do so. It is 2020 now. The viral trend has passed. I eat, sleep, and live better, although my asshole still hurts sometimes, no idea why. My mother is better, my sister's thriving. When I walked the streets back then, I couldn't go 2 feet without a glare of judgment, children crying, mothers crossing to the other side, but now, I am forgotten. For the internet influencers of today, this is a nightmare, but for me, this is a blessing. All I wanted to do was provide for my family. If no video cameras were present, I would still have committed the heinous acts that I did. But it was my curse to receive the attention that I did, and now, in a time of flash-in-the-pan viral trends and 15 minutes of fame, it seems like my time has passed. All I wish to do now is provide for my family. In fact, here's my sister now, who's just about to go to college. You say you... What? You're dropping out of high school? To start filming what? Oh God, what have I done? Alright, that was pretty good. Let's make a story for Carla now. Carla died of dysentery 72 hours after filming. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to drop it a like, subscribe, or some shit like that. Thanks for watching. Connor Hagerman out.